there's a confidence that it instills in you that you can approach any challenge that you set your mind to.
Welcome everybody, Bob from Pybites here, and I'm with Andrew McPhail. Andrew, welcome.
Hey,
thanks for joining.
Thank you, Bob. It's great to be here, and it's great to be chatting to you again. It's been a while since I last chatted to you, and always good to see you.
Yeah, glad we're seeing each other again. It has been a while, and thanks for joining this interview, PDM interview. And to start off, maybe you can tell a bit about yourself and what you do for a living.
Good. So I am Andrew. Obviously, I live in South Africa. I have had quite a diverse career. It's mainly been involved in the technology space. So I spent a lot of time as a sales, business development style person in the technology space. So I was working for a Microsoft partner for a long time, and I've always been in love with the technology scene, but mainly from a sales perspective. I left corporate and started up my own digital agency where I was helping small businesses get online and do the right things in terms of attracting businesses, etc. And now, since leaving that agency, I am in financial services, which is quite a distinct change in career path, and focused on administration and actually how to automate a lot of the day-to-day menial tasks in our business. And for that reason, I started learning Python on my own, and that took me a good 2 years or so to self-learning. And it's been quite an experience in terms of just applying the little knowledge that I did have to some of the day-to-day tasks in the business. And it spurred a love in my curiosity in coding and fulfilled a gap in my space where I was always talking about technology and not doing it. And now I had a chance to actually get my hands dirty with technology. So yeah, so I'm in the admin space. I spend a lot of my time figuring out how to automate repetitive tasks at this stage, from filling in forms to emailing reports out to actually generating those reports. That's where I spend my time on a daily basis.
Cool. Yeah, it's quite a variety of things in your career. And you spoke about Python, self-taught, and what made you join PDM?
So it was. You get to a point when you're learning by yourself, and I wasn't part of any meetups or anything like that, which retrospectively might have been a good idea. But it was actually, I was driving along listening to the Pybites podcast with you and Julian, and Christo came on, and his story just resonated with me. It was, I mean, obviously he was a lot more experienced, but he was just saying, I'd got to a level that I wasn't finishing projects. I was starting stuff and I wasn't finishing stuff off. And it just resonated with me. And I thought, I have to take it if I'm going to do this, I have to take it to the next level. And it was such an amazing experience. Just coming off of that podcast, I got to my desk, logged onto the site, and booked my appointments. And it was just something crystallized for me to say, either you're going to struggle going down the road by yourself and you're going to hit the limitations and frustrate yourself, or give it a chance and put yourself out there and see what you can do. And that's the motivation I had to get onto the PDM platform and PDM program. And I haven't looked back, really. It's been a great experience.
Nice. Thanks for sharing that by the podcast of all mediums.
And Christo, we can give a shout out to Christo,
Shout out to
one of the
Christo.
original
Yeah,
PDMers, I think.
yeah, Christo's amazing.
Yeah.
So what were the results you got from the program?
The main results was a focus to finish the program. It was something that I took on early, where it was, even in that first interview with you and Julian, it was about saying we're focusing on finishing one or two projects. That's the goal. There's a lot of stuff to learn in between that, but the focus is on choosing a couple of products, a couple of projects, and getting those finished. And 10 weeks at the start feels like a long time, but as soon as you get into it, you realize that it's actually not a long time. I mean, I spent a lot of time. I dedicated a lot of time to PDM, and sure, it was 10 weeks went by in a flash. But I think the biggest result that I got is rather finish and deploy something that's a minimum viable product. Don't worry about optimizing before you've even put something out there. Rather get something out there, go through that challenge, and then develop over time. I think that's the results I got was maybe less tangible and more about just finish something, just get something out there and then tweak it.
Awesome. Did it exceed what you had expected from the start?
Yes, is the short answer. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about the expectations a little bit further on down this conversation going in there. But I didn't go in with, I try to not have too many expectations coming in and go in with an open mind. And it was welcoming. The people that I met on PDM through our code clinics and mindset calls, just so supportive and willing to share. And if you had a problem, somebody from the team would jump on and say, try this, try that. So my overwhelming experience has been one of real positivity and just a sense of being something bigger than just you sitting by yourself trying to figure this stuff out. Everybody's different, but for me, it was just a really nice community experience. You know, it was no longer just about me and what I was doing. It was me and a whole lot of other guys trying to do the same thing, and sharing that experience together was amazing.
Cool, nice. And what was the favorite part of the program for you?
Code clinics and my check-ins with you. So our weekly check-in was always a learning experience. You know, it was getting that real feedback on stuff that you've been doing for the week, a couple of tips and ideas to think about. The code clinics were just amazing, where we would pick a couple of topics. You would do a demo, then one of the team would either do a demo or we would speak about a specific challenge in that project. So I would definitely say that technical collaboration with you on our one-on-ones and the code clinics were my favorite part.
Glad to hear. And did you have like an aha moment that PDM and its approach really clicked, or was the way to get to your goal?
Yeah, it was a series of little aha moments through the process. It was usually somebody's having the same problem as you, maybe not directly the same solution, but a similar problem coming from different angles. The sense of community and having people out there that you could bounce, that you shouldn't be afraid to ask the question. And I think too often I was sitting trying to figure it out myself, whereas actually the aha moment was, you've beaten yourself up trying to solve the problem, but there's people out there that you can pose those questions to and get a different perspective and a fresh perspective. For me, that aha moment was the power of the collaboration in the community and what you can get done, you leveraging that community.
Yeah, and also kudos to you, because one or two initiatives were thanks to you, ideas you raised, and we made improvements in the community. So yeah, really
brilliant,
grateful
man.
for your
And it's all part of that. Yeah.
Cool. So moving on then, what did you feel when you started working with us? Were you excited, nervous? What went through your head?
I was so nervous. I remember finishing our code, our initial session, being really excited, and then I think it was in the space of I was starting the next week, and I think our first thing was a Monday check-in before Tuesday code clinic. Had a quick catch-up call with you. Was really nervous. Absolutely didn't know what to expect coming onto code clinic, and immediately put at rest when it was welcoming, and realized you just never know getting into this. Like I was really beginning as a developer. So I mean, there were a lot of guys coming in there as experienced developers. You do feel like, really, what are you doing here? When you listen to some of the guys talking about what they are doing, you're going, wow, that is just out of my league. But I quickly realized that they are so willing to share and help you grow that you just relax immediately and you focus on what you're going to set out and do. So really nervous starting off, and wasn't 100% sure what to expect when coming on to the first calls. But within 2 days, I was more excited than I've been about a lot of things. So yeah, really excited, nervous, but as I started, you realized I certainly realized I'd made the right decision.
Glad to hear. So how did your life change through PDM?
Lost a bit of sleep for 10 weeks. No, I'm joking. It's given me the confidence to approach any challenge that I come up against, and I'm talking coding. I mean, I'm not. There's definitely the mindset side of stuff that Julian takes you through is important. You realize that everybody's got their challenges. Everybody has their imposter syndrome. From the guy that is been building JavaScript solutions for the last 20 years, learning Python. Everybody's got their own challenges. I think what changed for me the most was just tackle something. If you've got the you can break anything down and solve it really by just stop with the big picture thing and just bring it down to that little focus it to just one step at a time, solve one problem at a time, and eventually you're gonna move past that, and you'll wonder why it was causing you such headaches in the start. So I think my biggest takeaway is just stop trying to get everything perfect before moving on to the next thing. If it solves if you've managed to solve a problem, it might not be the best solution, but you've solved that, you can come back to it, move on to the next thing. So break it down, ask the questions out there. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and really value the community, because they are there to support, and it's just improved my confidence level when you sit down in front of you've got an idea that you want to start putting down into code, you don't tend to sit there with that blank screen, not knowing what you're going to do. You start off with your high level thing, and your high level flow chart. You say, this is what I'm tackling, and you focus on that, and you break that down, and you start with the little steps, and those little steps, once you've gone through it, you'll have a nice chunk of work that you've done, and so just that confidence. I think it's a confidence thing that you take out of the PDM program process, whatever. There's a confidence that it instills in you that you can approach any challenge that you set your mind to.
Awesome. Also, like, how much of that is soft skills, right? I mean, confidence, the whole tutorial paralysis thing you overcome with this, which is a form of perfectionism, procrastination, as you said, reaching out to people, not be scared of that. That's not Python tech. That's all soft skills and mindset, right? So that's an important side of the coin in this program, right?
It is, and it's I mean, I said my favorite part was code clinics and our check-ins, and that was on the technical side. But you realize maybe just how important it is having those the Thursday mindset calls was really about shooting the breeze and saying that it's no technical stuff. Like, Reese, what are you working on? You know, Morella, what challenge have you had? And you kind of just shoot the breeze with these guys, and you realize everybody is similar in what they're trying to do and get out of the program. And the more you can take their advice and take on the experience that everybody else is having, the better it is for you. So yeah, I think it's an important part. Those soft skills are an important part. You don't realize coding is just technical, and you can get better at that, but it's having the confidence and knowing that what you're feeling is actually normal. Just you get those steps to move past that initial, well, what do I sit here and write, and how do I start something, etc.
Cool. Nice. So if you could tell somebody that's on the fence about PDM, or is even in PDM right now and it's not getting the momentum, what is one piece of advice you would give them?
Well, if you're on the fence, I think there's two different questions there. I think if you're on the fence and trying to figure out whether or not PDM is the right move, my argument is you've got everything to gain and very little to lose. If you realize that just having access to that community will uplift and your skills, your confidence, your excitement about what you're doing. I mean, you're looking at PDM because you're enjoying Python development. You want to take it to the next level. My suggestion is just you'll be surprised at how much value you get, not just from the coding, but and the mentorship, but the whole experience. Yeah, it's a well-rounded experience. If you're sitting on the fence, just do it. It was one of the best decisions I've made in my learning journey, I guess, was to just put myself out there, because you are putting yourself out there. It's because you're going to become part of that community that somebody else is going to join, and you've got the ability to share your experience with them and be part of that network of support for other people that are in the same position or earlier or later. Just do it. It's an amazing thing to be part of, and I couldn't recommend it highly enough, honestly.
Thank you. Final words before I let you go?
Well, I think final words is thank you. You and Julian are amazing. You were amazing when I was in the program, and I can't tell you how much I enjoyed the experience of working with you and Julian. And final words was, and to the community, and to all the guys that were in PDM with me and before me and after me, enjoy it. I'm glad to be part of this community, and thank you. I'm just grateful for the experience that I've had with PDM. So a big word of thanks.
Yeah, and thank you too, because we really enjoyed working with you as well, and how you brought yourself to the program, and the positivity, the energy. So
thank you, Bob.
Appreciate
that.
And thanks for joining us today with the interview and sharing your experience. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
And
thank
we'll
you,
be in
Bob.
touch. Yeah. Have a good day.
For sure.